Hi, Richard.
Hi, Heather. How are you doing?
I need some volume in my headphones, but I can barely hear you. But are you lying on your hammock in Necker Island doing your business as usual, or are you sitting in an office like me?
I'm celebrating my son's birthday and have just retreated from the dinner table to talk to you.
Oh, really? Is it Sam's birthday today?
It is his birthday
Oh,
today.
give him a big kiss from me. I bet you're having
I certainly will.
a lot of fun. You still kite surfing out there?
Still kite surfing. We were kite surfing today. We had
Oh.
winds of nearly 40 miles an hour, so
Oh my goodness, you are
tremendous conditions for that.
such a daredevil. Well, I have the self-made billionaire, businessman and fearless adventurer Sir Richard Branson on the line, who started his Virgin Empire selling records out the boot of his car, then via mail order in London before opening his first record shop in Oxford Street. Richard went on to shake up the record industry with his Virgin record label before selling to Thorn EMI for a reported 510 million. Since then, Richard has developed Virgin to become one of the world's most recognised and respected brands in sectors ranging from mobile telephony to transportation, travel, financial services, media, music and fitness. Richard, you've been quoted as saying, "My interest in life comes from setting myself huge, apparently unachievable challenges and trying to rise above them." What motivates you with that never ever give up attitude?
Well, I've been very fortunate in my life. I've set myself challenges that some people have said were impossible, and I've loved seeing if I can prove them wrong and see if I can sort of create things that I can be proud of, and that people who come into contact with the things that we create can can enjoy and be proud of too. So it's been tremendous fun. We've built lots of great businesses, and we're now trying to address some of the sort of intractable social problems of the world using the resources that we've got through Virgin and the fact that we're quite high profile public figures and maybe can get things done in a way that pure social people find it more difficult to do.
Don't you think that global warming might seem the toughest challenge humanity has ever faced? And how can we rise to this immense challenge, which at the moment still seems so unachievable?
Well, I think one of the first things we have to do is to try to make sure that the people realize that global warming is a threat, and there's quite a lot of skepticism, particularly in America, left over, I think, from the Bush administration about global warming. So the scientists, who sort of 96% of all scientists believe we have a major problem, have got to get out there and really get their message across, and we've got to help them get their message across. Having got the message across, we've obviously then got to do something about it, and I think there are many different ways of doing something about it. I mean, you mentioned in the introduction of your program that livestock, our production around rainforests is resulting in more and more rainforests being cut down. And in fact, my son Sam, that we were just talking about, is making a film to try to alert the world to the damage that cattle are doing, and trying to get people to give up eating beef on a sort of Mondays or on a Fridays. I've seen the rough of his film, and I've actually given up eating beef.
Yay! Fantastic.
Completely.
Good for you. And are you finding that hard, or did your chef pick up some of the vegan recipes I left behind last time?
I'm still looking forward to trying your product, which I hear is great. But what as a meat eater, I've chosen to give up beef because I think beef specifically can help save the rainforest, and if you can save the rainforest, that can help in the battle to reduce the problems of global warming.
Were you surprised that the meat and dairy industry and deforestation was the biggest contributor to global warming, bigger than all of the transport put together? Did that surprise you when you first learned that?
Yeah, my eyes were only opened in the last 3 or 4 months to that, and And it's, if for instance Americans just decide, do not imported beef from regions that are rainforest regions like Brazil or countries that have remaining rainforest left, that will result in cattle farmers realizing there's no need to cut down, to cut down or burn more rainforest because they can't export their beef to America or to Europe. So, so I think that's something which is very worthwhile doing. And so if people are not willing to actually give up eating beef, at the very least try to give up eating beef from rainforest regions and ask where the beef comes from. But actually, my own experience is giving up beef. You can compensate it with other meats, and you're not going to miss out at all. And even
with vegan meats, some great vegan meat.
Vegan meat, I haven't got that far yet, but I will try that. But shepherd's pie rather than beef pie. I mean, it's just so.
Well, I applaud you for taking that first step. But how do you think we can make sure that sustainability becomes a fundamental feature of big business, which is equally important as its bottom line?
Yeah, I just think that with Virgin, what we've tried to do is, for instance, 100% of the profits we make from our dirty businesses, our airline businesses, our train businesses, which are less dirty, we put into trying to develop clean fuels so that we can try to come up with a fuel that can power planes, cars, lorries, buses that are not damaging the environment. And in fact, we have one of our companies, which we've got a big investment in, have come up with a fuel called isobutanol, which is a derivative of sugar. And actually, sugar is another food that is not particularly good for you, so it's actually quite not a bad one to turn into fuel. That we think we'll be able to power our planes in the future. So I think that if companies can afford to do it, to put aside a chunk of their profits to invest in trying to come up with alternative energy sources, should be good for the environment, also good business sense because the world's running out of oil, and hopefully save the world from some of the potential disasters that could be facing it, which is obviously rising sea levels and losing the beautiful Antarctic ice and creating deserts where there's currently fields in Africa and South America and so on. So it's worth trying.
I know that you set up the Virgin Earth Challenge, offering a prize of $25 million. This will put a lot of people's ears up for whoever can demonstrate to the judges' satisfaction a commercially viable design which results in the removal of anthropogenic atmospheric greenhouse gases so as to contribute materially to the stability of Earth's climate. Have you had any great people put ideas forward? Anything interesting yet?
Well, to put that into sort of simple language, basically what we're trying to do is see if anybody can come up with a way of extracting carbon out of the Earth's atmosphere. Now, carbon is the dirty stuff that we put into the atmosphere through our cars and planes, and that's what's creating this blanket around the world, which is heating up the world, which is trying to snuff the world out. So what we're trying to do is see if we can't get that carbon out of the Earth's atmosphere and rectify the position. The best idea we've had so far is to set up in every farm a biochar machine.
Yes, that's the one I was going to write to you about. That's great. You know about that. That's incredible. Tell us more.
Yeah, it's a simple. So it's a machine that turns the waste product into charcoal. You then crunch it up. You bury it in the field, and the buried charcoal collects water very effectively. It becomes very good, very good for the fields.